Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session. My name is Skyla Ramirez. Let's get started today with some mindful breathing. As we move into mindful breathing this morning, you can stay seated or you can lie down. Now, most experts in respiratory health will recommend that you lie down on your back with the knees bent to be able to access the breathing muscles more efficiently. But of course, you do not have to lie down if you're noticing that this is making breathing hard for you today. So as we get prepared to move into some breathing, notice if you want to lie down or if you want to stay seated. Let's take both hands and cross them over the center of your chest. While you're here, lower your head, whether you're lying down or seated, feel that there is a little bit of a stretch in the back of your neck. Let's lower the chin, inhaling through the nose as much as possible. Let's try a few exhales from the mouth and throat as if we're going to fog a mirror. Exhaling with a aha, a breathy exhale with heat and moisture coming out with that breath. Let's try a few of those. Inhale through the nose, exhaling. Now let's change the exhale just a little bit by puckering or pursing the lips. And this time, instead of working on a ha breath, we are exhaling as if we are blowing bubbles or blowing out candles. Now, at some point, simply relax all of the muscles around your mouth, your throat, and jaw. And let's inhale through the nose. Keep the lips touching. Exhale from the throat as if you're still trying to fog a mirror, but it's going to feel a little different as we retain the heat. So it's still emulating that, that ha breath, but we're keeping the lips together. And this is going to round out the back of the throat. And you're going to feel almost like a hollow, breathy sensation in the mouth and back of the throat. Let's try this a few times. Inhaling through the nose, lips are lightly pressed. This is known as Ujjayi breath, a heated breath. Let's do one or two more. Now letting go of any technique, maybe even let your hands go down beside you, resting. If you're seated, I invite you at this time to go ahead and lie down on your back. We may want to roll over onto one side and come down to the floor, and then come onto our backs. From lying on our backs, let's all take the arms and reach up and overhead, introducing a nice big stretch on the sides of the ribs and also in the front of the body. From here, bring both hands down to the sides. Let's hug both our knees into the chest. Hold on behind the knees or thighs. Let's rock the body side to side. From here, let's come to center. Keep the toes touching and open the knees wide. Maybe keep the hands on the sides of your thighs. So we're going to rhythmically do a little bit of a flutter with the knees today to work on moving any lymphatic fluid off the legs and the lower extremities. While the knees are open, we inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly think of squeezing the knees in tight, pressing the thighs together. When you're ready, inhale, open. And then exhale, squeeze and close. Preferably keeping the lips touching and exhaling from the throat. Ujjayi breath. Inhale, open. And exhale, squeeze to close. Let's hold the knees together, hold them in, place the hands on top of your kneecaps, and go ahead and rotate the knees in a clockwise direction. Let's match the breath to this movement so that when we exhale, the knees are hugging in and we're compressing or contracting the belly. Inhale as the knees move away, open the belly and the lungs. Exhale as you draw the knees in and contract the stomach. Maybe just 2 or 3 more like this. When you're ready, reverse that circle. Take it over to the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract in. One more nice big circle. Inhale, open. Exhale, contract. From here, go ahead and stretch the legs up and roll out the ankles. Point and flex the feet. When you're ready, lower the right foot down to the floor. Hug just that left knee in. And when you're ready, release. Let's switch sides, alternating knee to chest. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, release. Still keeping that steady breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling from the throat as if you were going to fog a mirror. Keeping the lips together so we keep the heat in our bodies. Let's even this up on left and right. When you're ready, let both feet come down. Walk the feet out, maybe as wide as your yoga mat or just wider than the hips. Let's take the knees into some gentle sways, swaying left and right. Windshield wiper sways, matching breath to the movement. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, knees twist to one side. Let's do one more to each side. When you're ready, come to center. Let the knees roll over. Let's roll over onto one side and rest in this sideline position for just a few breaths. Draw the knees in as tight and as close to your body as possible. So you're curled up into a little ball or into a fetal position, stretching the spine and the muscles that lie over the kidneys and the adrenal glands. Breathe into your low back, into your middle back. Breathe into that space under your shoulder blades. When you're ready, use the top arm to slowly come around to all fours. From all fours position, let's go ahead and press the hips back towards the heels. Now we might want to hold it right here, or we can touch the hips down. We could even lower the head and come all the way down into child's pose, keeping in mind that if this causes you to have any pressure in the head or difficulty breathing, you don't have to go all the way back. You can always stay lifted up a little bit instead. Let's practice a few heavy exhales here, opening the mouth and the throat. Maybe two more. When you're ready, slowly come up. Let's find an all fours position, either your fist on the floor to take pressure off the wrist, or come down onto your elbows. Flat palm is an option. Let's extend the left foot straight back and the right hand forward, looking down at the floor, holding spinal balance. As you inhale, reach a little more and press back just a little more with your heel. When you're ready, slowly bring the limbs in, finding our foundation. Let's switch sides, taking the right leg straight back, push back through a flat foot, pressing back through the heel, extend with the left hand. So if you're down low on the floor, maybe the hand stays down really low as well. So at the most, we're lifting that left arm so that it's just outside your ear, but the arm can always be lower. This can be more kind to the shoulder joint. Let's bring the limbs in. Let's try that with the breath. If you feel rushed by your breath, remember that you don't have to move one breath, one movement. If anything, just keep breathing and let's work on balance, staying very still with this. Inhaling, left leg, right arm. Exhale, lower the limbs. Inhaling, right leg, left arm. Looking down at the floor. Exhale in. Notice any impulse to lift your head and look forward, and just simply remind the body to look down. We're trying to keep the neck in neutral alignment with the rest of the spine. Sometimes when we look a little bit up, we feel more balanced, but this can be putting excessive pressure on the vertebra or the disc in your neck. Let's wrap this up on left and right. When you feel it's even on both sides, go ahead and reset your spine. Let the hips press back again. something like child's pose. Walk the hands over to one side of your mat, left or right, and just work a big side stretch into this practice. Let's walk the hands through center. Take it to the other side. Again, nice big side stretch. And again, you can be up with this. Let's bring the hands to center. No matter where we are, as we come through center, let's all just for today, come down on the elbows. And then go ahead and lie down on your belly for a moment. Let's turn the palms down onto the floor, having the elbows underneath the shoulders. Imagine you're pushing down into your elbows and trying to pull the elbows back. Shoulders pressing away from the ears. We'll look forward and bring the head down just a little bit. Working on strengthening the muscles along the sides of the spine. These muscles are used to keep a nice tall posture, shoulders pressing away from the ears, maybe even lower the head. We can always let the chin roll over to one side, a nice big side stretch, just kind of rolling along your jawline. When you're ready, bring it to center from a more neutral place. Go ahead and bend your knees. So think about pushing your thighs and knees into the floor and make fist with the hands. So you can push into your elbows, knees, and thighs to lift the hips. Holding it here, we're in a supported kneeling plank pose. When you're ready, excuse me, when your body's ready, go ahead and walk the elbows back. Let's take our time to think about how we may want to make our way up to standing today, stepping one foot forward, tucking our back toe, step the other foot forward, and let's make our way up into standing, finding an expression of mountain pose today. Taking the feet out to the width of the hips. So hip width in yoga is an interesting term that often gets interpreted as a pretty wide stance, but really hip width for bone alignment, for safety, what we're really talking about is seeing that the edges of your feet are in alignment with the edges of your hips. So from this expression of mountain, this hip width distance, let's open the palms, roll the shoulders down and back. Take a moment to lengthen through the crown of your head and maybe just think of firming and toning the whole body from the arches of the feet. Web out the toes. Think of pulling the kneecaps up, knees stay soft. Pull and contract your abdominal muscles in, and then lengthen through the crown of the head while you reach towards the floor. Engaging deep muscles close to the spine in our strong mountain expression. When you're ready, inhale, sweeping both arms up and overhead. Big inhale, sweep. And then exhale, sweep them back. Exaggerating the movement with the arms, stretching the chest. Let's try one more. Big inhale, open. And then exhale, bring it back. Great. Let's bring our hands together at the heart, stepping our left foot back, a casual stride. Inhale, open up the arms. Look up, just a gentle tilt of the head, not too much pressure on the neck. Exhale, come forward, peel up that back foot. Let's move through a peaceful warrior flow. Inhale, right foot back, arms open. And then exhale, close. Other leg back, arms open. A gesture of welcome. Exhale, close. Let's do at least one more on each side. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Last one. Let's take just the right foot back. Open up through the chest. Pull the elbows back in tight. Inhale, reaching both arms up and overhead. Big breath in. And then exhale, swan diving down, only halfway. And maybe not even halfway. So I'm staying up probably just a quarter of the way down. I'm staying pretty high up today with this. From here, let's work on bringing our right hip just a little bit forward so that we feel the hips are squaring or leveling off. Let's straighten our left leg. And while you're here with that left leg straight, push your hips back. So you're going to feel that you're trying to open or separate the buttocks and the glute muscles. Softening through the anal sphincter area, softening through the low back. You may want to check in with those knees. Make sure they keep a little bend so that we're not locking out. We're keeping healthy circulation. When you're ready, inhale, hips stay back, exhale, come forward just a little more. And we may even find that we're curious to maybe walk the hands down the legs. Some of us may even walk our hands all the way down to the floor. No matter where you go with this, shake your head yes, and turn the head left and right. Let's stay for a couple heavy exhales. Big inhale through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth. Throwing the breath. One more. When you're ready, slowly walk the hands up. Let's come up at least halfway and check in with our spine. From here, slowly coming up all the way. We're opening into warrior two, turning that right heel in, keeping a bend in the left knee. Let's stretch our arms out, looking past the left fingertips. Taking our left palm up, let's scoop up the breath and lean back. Reach straight up with the left hand as if you're trying to unscrew a light bulb. We can look up in alignment with the heart or over the right shoulder. Breathe into that upper right lung, upper left lung. One more big breath. Exhaling side angle. Take the left elbow onto your left thigh. And let's take the right arm straight up towards the sky. Now, either with the arm extended or with an elbow, let's circle that arm or circle with your elbow a few times to open up the shoulders, the side ribs, and the chest. Inhale, opening and reaching. Exhale as we circle to close. When you're ready, reverse that circle, reach back with the right hand, and then take it down and around. So different type of circumduction, a different type of movement for the shoulder to move that arm, to reverse the movement. One more big inhale. Take the knuckles to your low back. Let's all take our left hand onto our left thigh, and it can be little to no pressure with this. So hopefully there's no strain on your wrist, fingers, or hand. From wherever you are with that fingertip light touch, let's straighten our left leg. Draw that right shoulder back a little more. Maybe even think of trying to swivel with your ribs and your waist. Swivel your heart up towards the ceiling. So we're working on triangle pose, dissecting the pose. That way we get a nice big contraction in the core. You might want to hold it here or inhale. Take that right arm straight up towards the sky. Option to slide the left hand down your left leg, maybe to the left ankle, maybe to a block or to the floor. Holding it here, we can look up, very traditional, or we could look a little bit more down towards the floor, which can be so much kinder to your neck. Breathe into the upper right lung, big inhale. When you're ready, let's bend that left knee. Slowly lower that top arm. Let's bring our left hand to the left thigh or the elbow. Support the body to eventually come up and find warrior two again. Looking beyond the left fingertips, keeping a heavy bend in that left knee. Dynamically pressing back into that right foot. Maybe even close your eyes. Become aware of the sensations under your left armpit, and from the left armpit stretching down to the right hip, and then all the way down to your foot, to your right foot on the floor. When you're ready, let's bring the hands to the hips, turn the left toe in, and let's heel toe the feet to neutral. Go ahead and shake off the knees and the feet. Let's center the body with some flying arms. Strong mountain expression is our foundation. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms back and up. Big breath in. And then exhale back. Last one. When you're ready, bring the hands to the heart. Let's step our left foot back, a short stride, keeping a bend in that right knee, inhaling the arms up and overhead. Traditional warrior one, feeling as if that left hip moves just a little bit forward. You could even put your hands down on your hips to feel that they are leveled, or feel if you have one hip a little too much forward or one's a little too much back, and just try to center those hips, making them as neutral as possible, working with our bodies this morning. When you're ready, big inhale. Exhale, swan dive, hands to the front thigh, and maybe we only come down just a little bit. You could come down halfway if it's more comfortable. Let's straighten out that right leg, keeping the knees just a little soft. We're unhinging at the hips, pushing the tailbone back, and then walking our hands down that right leg for pyramid pose. From wherever you are, shake the head yes, and turn it left and right. Let's make sure that the neck and the throat are open, the whole energetic highway from the tailbone, through the back of your heart, through the crown of the head. All this energy is open. At least one or two more exhales here. When it feels right for you, go ahead and walk the hands up onto your right thigh. And then inhale, slowly come up, traditional warrior one. From here, let's turn the left heel in and then reach the arms out for warrior two. We can always inch that left foot back a little more if it's more comfortable. Let's look past the right fingertips, turning the right palm up. Keep lunging forward into that right knee, lower the left hand, scoop up and reach straight up. Reverse warrior, option to look up, ahead, or over the left shoulder. Let's breathe into that upper right lung. One more big breath, reach, exhaling side angle pose. Either your hand or elbow to the thigh. Taking our top arm up, let's sweep it overhead and around. Again, if you want, you could always do this with the elbow. It does not have to be an extended arm. The extended arm puts more pressure on the neck and shoulder. So circling with the elbow is often considered the safer place for our bodies. Let's do one more big circle. Inhale and exhale. Now reverse that circle. Inhale to open. Exhale as we sweep back and around. One more big breath. Let's bring that left hand to our low back. Now go ahead and bring the right hand softly onto the right thigh or fingertips soft on your right knee as we transition into triangle pose. Straightening the right leg. We're allowing our hips to angle back. So it's going to be a big opening on the outside of the left hip, and it's going to be a contraction on the inside of the right hip. We can slide that right hand past the knee to our shin, maybe to our ankle, to a yoga block, or even onto the floor. Last of all, we draw that left shoulder back a little more, and then maybe we extend that left arm straight up to the sky. Maybe just look down, just for today. Let's think about the stretch that's happening on the inside of the right foot, up to the inside of the right groin, and then all the way across to your left shoulder and left chest. This is called a spiral line of energy. It's a big stretch across the body. One more big breath. On an exhale, let's lower our top arm slowly. Let's bend the right knee, safely guiding that right hand up to the thigh, and finally coming up to warrior two. Looking past the right fingertips again. Now thinking about that stretch, pressing back into the left foot, up to the inside of your left hip, across to the right chest and shoulder. So now we've got both spiral lines lacing up the body, pulling energy in. One more inhale and exhale, relax. Let's turn our right toe in, finding a standing straddle. From here, bring the hands to the heart. On an inhale, let's open to a chest expansion. Circle the arms around and back. Maybe lace the fingers together or let those hands rest at the low back. Big inhale around the heart. Puff out your chest. And then exhale. Exaggerate that inhale 2 more times. Lift the ribs. Flare out the collarbones. Open the throat. One more. Good. One more big inhale. On the next exhale, shift forward. Keep the knees soft. You may even want to take a more active bend into those knees as a safety precaution. Push the hips back and slowly lower your head and neck. Go ahead and hang loose for about 3 to 5 breaths. Hang your head loose, shake the head yes, and turn it left and right. Remember, the longer those exhales, the more potential there is for the body to relax. The more we relax the jaw, the more potential there is for the hips and the low back to relax. When you're ready, slowly soften those knees. Let's heel toe the feet towards each other. And from this foundation, we can walk the hands up to our thighs for support. And then come all the way up to standing. Let's go ahead and shake everything out. Moving into a standing balancing pose today. This pose we're practicing standing, and then we're going to practice it on the floor as well. So for this pose, I am going to go ahead and use a chair today. And I'm using it for a couple of reasons. Let me use it to support my leg in the twist so that I don't have to put so much effort into lifting my leg up. And also for balance. So it's going to have less effort on the inside of the hip to lift the leg and less risk of falling. Now, of course, if you want to just use a wall or a chair, you can, and then lift your leg and hold it. You can do that as well. From here, we are twisting towards that bent knee. So I have my left leg up right now. This is my left leg. In mirror teaching, it would look like my right leg to you, but it is my left. So my left leg is up, and I'm taking my left hand to my low back, keeping my right hand on my support, slowly beginning to swivel at the waist, moving into a twist towards the right, towards the lifted leg. Breathing into the upper lung region and under the shoulder blades. When you're ready, slowly come around to center. Let's take our time to switch sides with that stretch. Bringing our other leg up. We may want to have a different means of support. This is my right leg, so I'm taking my right hand to my low back and slowly twisting towards the right. Breathing into the upper lung, into that space under your shoulder blades. One more big breath. And when you're ready, exhale, come around, release your hands, and let's step to the floor for a firm foundation. All right, at this time, before we come down to the floor, you may want to grab a sip of water or blankets, any other yoga accessories or props for comfort as we do some deep stretching and meditation on the floor. And just a reminder on how to go from standing to coming down to the floor safely. There are a lot of ways to get up and down. This is just one way that's taught in occupational therapy so that we're able to maintain mobility. We would hinge at the hips, push the hips back. We may want to keep hands on the thigh or hands on a chair. We take one leg back and lower down, kneeling lunge. Excuse me. From here, we take our hands down and then maybe bring this other leg back, coming around into a side seated position. Excuse me, everyone. I took some allergy medicine, so I think it's just kicking in. All right, so let's come down to seated on the floor, and let's do that same twist that we just did while we were standing, but we're going to do it from a seated position. We're going to do it from a lying down position too, just to kind of give the body some different perspectives in the twist. So let's come around into seated stack. That's our foundation pose, seated with both legs straight out. Step one, bend the left knee. Having the left knee bent in very close to the body, let's take our left hand, reach it straight up, and now circle it back behind you. So if you want, that right hand can stay down on the right thigh, or it can be right hand to the left shin, or it can be right hand on the outside of your left leg, making this half Lord of the Fishes. Let's look over the left shoulder. So this twist creates a contracting and spiraling energy all the way from the tailbone, through the navel, through the head, neck, and throat, out the crown of the head. Breathe mostly into your upper left lung. Option to close the eyes and just simply feel for the breath. Guide the breath into the left side of your chest. When you're ready, slowly come around. Let's unwind the spine. Extend that left leg out. Shake off the knees. Let's bend our right knee. Left hand can stay on the left thigh for support, or go ahead and bring the left hand to your right shin. Inhaling, right arm up, big stretch. Exhale, sweep it around, twist towards the right. You can keep that right hand really close to your hip, or maybe lean back into it a little bit. You could even come down onto your elbow if that's more comfortable, making this a little more of a reclining twist. Let's breathe into the upper right chest. Option to take your left hand on the outside of the right knee, half Lord of the Fishes. One more big inhale here in this big twist. When you're ready, find your breath. Slowly reposition the shoulders. Stretch out the right leg, shake off the knees. From here, from our seated staff, let's all bend both knees. Hold on behind your thighs, and then go ahead and pull back, rock back, grazing your toes along your mat, lifting the heels. Remember cow pose here, that sensation of moo, hips pushing back, chest forward. We might want to keep the toes on the mat, giving some support to the body, or slowly begin to hover the feet into boat. This is considered a core strengthening pose. So if it starts to get hard, that's normal. That's normal that this gets harder, not easier. From wherever you are, you may want to straighten the arms. You could lean back a little, but no matter where you go with this, keep pushing the shoulders down. Lift your chest and your ribs. Imagine a yoga block between the knees. You can touch your toes and knees together if that feels better. Separating usually makes it harder. So if you're looking for a challenge, separate the feet and the knees. If you start to feel a shake or a quiver in the body, you're doing it right. That's what happens over time. Let's stay just 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. One more. When you're ready, come forward, toes touch, knees open, countering that with butterfly, which is meant to be very relaxing for the body. Let's come forward and relax our head. Breathe down into your low back, breathe to the middle back, breathe under the shoulder blades. Let the breath fill the backs of the lungs along the sides of your spine. When you're ready, slowly begin to sit up tall with the spine. Let's take our feet in front of us and let them sway to one side so that we can lie down on our sides for a moment. Then go ahead and roll over onto your back. So that same twist that we did standing, the one we just did seated, we're going to try that one lying down. First of all, take your left leg, stretch it straight down on the floor, and keep the foot flat. So this would be, if we were standing, we would be standing with a flat foot. We have our right leg up. If we were standing, we take that right foot off the floor and we almost create a 90-degree angle with that right knee to the hip. Take your left hand on the outside of that right knee and slowly guide the right leg over to the left. Now you may or may not lift your hips off the floor. You could take the right hand down on the floor. You could even push your hand into the floor to give you a bigger twist, peeling up that right hip. But again, you don't have to. You could keep the hip down on the floor and just add in a gentle amount of pressure. This can give just a different type of stretch on your hip, less of a spine stretch. Either or, no matter where you are with this, bring awareness to the breath. Remembering as long as we're breathing, we're doing yoga. It's not about the poses. It's about embracing the breath. One more inhale. When you're ready, slowly bring that right foot down. Let's slide the left leg in. Taking our sweet time to switch sides. Right foot flat, right leg straight to the ground, just as if we're standing. Lift the left foot, 90-degree angle if possible. Take the right hand on the outside of the left leg and slowly begin to twist it over. So I'm not doing a big spine twist right now. I just want to show you that this twist can be expressed in a lot of different ways depending on what your body might need today. So it can be, expressed in a really conservative way so that you isolate that stretch on the outside of your hip, or left hand on the floor, push into that left hand, and then it becomes more of a spiraling twist in the spine, less about the hips. No matter where your body goes with this, after you get settled in the physical part of the practice, make it about the breath. Let's just breathe. When you're ready, slowly come to neutral with the legs and the feet. Let's bend both knees, hug both knees to the chest. Hold on behind the thighs. Maybe go ahead and stretch the legs up the wall, flatten the feet. Let's take the feet out to the width of your shoulders and now pull the knees in towards your shoulders, coming into happy baby pose. Maybe you reach up and hold on to your feet. Ooh, man, those toes might be cold this morning, guys. There was ice out this morning, frost on the lawn, ice all over the cars. Toes are feeling really, really cold today. On an exhale, pull those knees back a little more. Relax your jaw. Breath. Stay here as long as it feels right for you. When you're ready, release out of happy baby. Now let your body move in any natural way. We all need different things. Our bodies are unique in the way that they're built. They're unique in their histories. Give yourself another minute or so to get situated so that you can eventually come into any final pose for relaxation and meditation. Let's all get comfortable and bring awareness to the breath again. And if you want, again, you can put the hands over your chest. This is where it all began today. Both hands over the heart, feeling for the heart's energy. Anahata, that's the name of the heart chakra. The heart energy is anahata. It means unstruck. It represents unconditional love for ourselves and for others. Anahata. Maybe feel for your heart breathing. The heart expands and contracts just like the lungs expand and contract. Start to feel that your heart moves like a single lung in the center of your chest. And on every inhale, you feel the expansion of the heart. The chest rises softly. And on the exhale, the chest is going to relax. On your inhale, imagine you're breathing in heat and you're breathing in a contracted, a heavy energy. Inhaling, drawing in a hot, heavy energy. And then as you exhale, releasing that, and you feel that you are becoming very light on the exhale. And as the breath leaves, you watch that exhale move out from your body and you watch that energy of expansion on the exhale. So every inhale, we open ourselves up as containers. We bring in heat, heaviness. We could even bring in a dark light. And then as you exhale, you lighten up. You feel that you expand your consciousness. You exhale and you release light from the body. So in its essence, in this practice, on every inhale, we basically say, I know that I can contain this. And on the exhale, as we let go and we tap into that sense of expansion, we say, I am bigger than that. Those things in my life that might feel heavy, they might feel dark, those things, they might feel hot, like anger can feel like heat. You can hold that. You're big enough for that. Inhale, that's part of the human experience. Exhale, it is your choice to let it go and to realize that you can expand your consciousness beyond that feeling, beyond the anger, beyond the emotions. You are bigger than that. Now, as you breathe in, maybe that thing is something that you know is personal to you. So breathe in maybe the suffering that you've been going through during this holiday season or during the pandemic. If you have felt anxiety or stress, Inhale and face it. Bring it into your heart. You are big enough to hold on to this. And then exhale, by choice, you let it go. And your consciousness expands. You can step outside of that emotion. Reminding ourselves, I am bigger than that. I'm bigger than this, whatever this is for you. Now, maybe you are wanting to be closer to loved ones during this holiday season, or maybe you know that someone else is sick right now and you want to be close to them, but you can't. As you inhale, breathe in that suffering or breathe in that sadness. Face it. It's our resistance to pain that creates more pain. When we open ourselves up to it, when we say, I can handle this, that's when we actually eliminate the suffering. So breathe that in. And then exhale, expand. Your consciousness expands beyond that emotion. When you're ready, just deepen your breath. Let go of the breath, let go of controlling the breath, and just be at ease. And now, maybe as you inhale, just focus on expansion. Inhaling, the heart expands, consciousness expands, aware of where you are right now on your mat. Be aware of where you are, what room you're practicing in, maybe even see with your mind's eye. Recollect the space you're in without looking around. Remember the color of the walls, the position of furniture. And from this place of awareness where you are in tune with your environment, you can always stay here a little longer. If you think that your body wants to come up to seated, maybe move around a little bit before you come up to seated. At your leisure, let's bring the hands over the heart or over the chest, drawing in a deep, unifying breath together. Big inhale. Exhale from the throat. From here, together we can close. Namaste, everyone. Have a beautiful day. I will see you next week.